Hi, I'm Tim Carter. This is Ask the Builder, and I'm live. It's great to be. Happy New Year, by the way. It is January, oh my gosh, January 3rd already, 2022. And it's going to be a great year. I can tell you that right now. And I am so happy to be here, and I'm glad you're here as well. Today, I'm the sponsor of the live stream because basically the whole live stream I want to talk about a gift that I decided to give you, as well as all of my newsletter subscribers and the people that read my syndicated newspaper column, and anybody else that wants it. You know, your friends, the people who are on your channel, whoever it might be. It doesn't matter. But we're going to spend the whole live stream on this topic about the gifts I'm going to give you. I'm going to start telling you about them in just a moment. And what would really help me is any questions that you have, just try to keep them to these products and to what I'm talking about. And I think it'll really help move the ball down the field for people who need some help and want to save a lot of money. Let me start with a story. So back probably at the end of the first week of December, I got up early one morning. Well, I just kind of woke up. I had been troubled the days before. There had just been a lot of troubling news. There were a lot of things. Hi, Steve. Happy New Year. I had a great Christmas. I hope you did too. But anyway, back to the story. So I woke up at 5 in the morning and I was not in a great mood. I was not in a great place. Um, I've become a student of economics. I don't have an economics degree, but my oldest daughter does. But I have enough life experience, and I used to have more gray hair. I just got some of it cut off a few days ago. Uh, Hi, Missing. Happy New Year to you too. Anyway, I've got enough gray hair, and I've been around long enough that I know what's in play, and there's not a doubt in my mind what's going on. And depending on how old you are, and if you live in the United States, you're going to witness something that's really not good. The bottom line is I was really bothered with the news stories that were finally starting to come out. I really feel the mainstream media here in the United States was trying to suppress this for political reasons. But all you had to do is go to the grocery store, go buy building materials. It doesn't matter. The prices were way up. I'm not talking 3% or 4%. I'm talking double-digit inflation. And last year on some of the live streams, I kind of touched on inflation, and I've been through it. I was through it in the late 1970s, and it is horrific what happens. Anyway, I thought to myself, I need to do something to help my followers. That would be you. This is what I actively thought of in bed. I thought, I got to do something that will help them save money. I mean, lots of money, because you're going to need it. Believe me, you need to save every penny you have. You need to figure out a way that not one penny gets wasted. So I thought, what can I do? What can I do? And I started to have a rough idea. Yeah, you should be worried. It's going to be bad over here. Dominique, happy to see you. And I started to get this rough idea in my head. I thought, I think I know what I could do. And it really kind of goes back to all of this email I get. And a lot of the email I've been receiving lately, people state right up front that they're on fixed incomes and that money's really tight. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give away to all these people for free, probably my top 8 digital products. You may not even know that I have digital products. I do such a bad job of marketing my own products. And I don't know why I'm so bad at that. I don't know if I'm embarrassed about it. I don't want to seem like a huckster. I don't want to be pushing them in front of your face all the time. I don't know. I've just never done that. And maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter now. But then I took it one step further. Have you ever seen one of the Fabergé? These are very historic. The Fabergé eggs. They're old, and they're these jeweled eggs. They're exquisite artwork. But I'm sure they all open up, and inside the egg is even more stuff and better stuff. So I decided to create an Ask the Builder egg for you. I know it sounds crazy. So here's what it is. I decided to give away my top selling book. So I wrote a book back 4 years ago. This is the book. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. Roofing Ripoff. And it is really kind of a neat book. It's got a lot of great cover photos in it. And so and it's both in paperback form, and it's also an ebook, that you can get. So anyway, I decided I'm going to give you the ebook version for free. All right. And what's really interesting about this book is it explains why this may not appeal to Steve, to you and Dominique over there in the UK, because you don't have, you guys over there are smart. You don't put these crappy asphalt shingles on your roofs. You put on good roofs. Anyway, if you do have an asphalt shingle roof, the asphalt shingles are not made like they used to be made. And I uncovered why. I had a deep throat source within the industry that told me exactly what was going on. So it's not speculation. And I'll also, at that point, I think there's something you need to know. This is really interesting. When someone like me who's out there, and what I mean by being out there is a public figure. So I'm the Ask the Builder guy. I've got a syndicated newspaper column. I got my YouTube videos. If I make a mistake, let me tell you, people are very quick to point it out, and they want to shame you. They want you to know that you made a mistake. And in my career, I've written 1,000, almost 1,450 columns so far, maybe a few more. I've made 2 mistakes in all those columns early on. It was many, many years ago, right? And actually my first 18 months. And I learned very quickly, no more mistakes. When I wrote this book, to show you that everything in the book is right, not speculation, I sent a copy of this book to every single roofing company and to their association. And let me tell you, if something would have been wrong in this book, meaning if I said something in the book that was wrong, they would have they would have put up a web page about it. They would have said information in Roofing Ripoff is wrong. They would have done everything possible to discredit it. Not one word. Nothing. Not one word. So that tells you everything in the book is correct. All right, you get it for free. The second thing I'm giving you. Hey, Silver, how you doing? Happy New Year. Hi. I got it. All right. Thank you, Will. Thanks. I was in a hatchet fight and lost. Anyway, the second thing I'm giving you. There's a video that I made. You've never seen it, probably. It is not on YouTube. And there's a reason it's not on YouTube, because I sell it. And it's long. It's 90 minutes long. All right. I mean, that's the length of a full feature length movie that Hollywood makes. All right. What's the video about? So here in the United States, and I'm sure it's a worldwide problem, wet basements. In fact, I just did one of my phone consults around noon about a gentleman in Pennsylvania. He was in Ohio. That's where he was, Ohio, who's got a wet basement. And I solved it for him, told him how we're going to fix it. In this 90-minute video that you get for free, it shows you how to fix the problem in 99% of the situations. My degree is in geology. I had a focus in hydrogeology, which is the study of groundwater. So that's what this whole video is about, because it's water that's in the ground. So I know exactly how to capture the water and how to divert it around your home. And if you were to hire a company to come and do this work, good chance it would cost you about 10 grand here in the United States. $10,000. My video that you're going to get to watch for free shows you how to take care of the problem for maybe, I mean, if you do the work yourself, I don't know, 200 bucks, $300 maybe. Wait till you watch the video. You also get my concrete specifications. Much of the concrete work done here in the United States is not done right. So I show you how to do it's really simple document. I show you how to do it right. I show you how to put the reinforcing steel in. It comes with a great diagram. You can use it for sidewalks, patios, driveways. All you have to do is, if you're going to do a driveway, you just make your concrete a little thicker than what I have in the drawing. It's common sense. Okay. You can also go back to my website and just read all of my concrete installation columns as a supplement to that free thing. You also get for free my bath remodeling checklist. You can also use the checklist if you're building a new home and you want to get your bathroom right. Not only is it a really cool checklist, but it also is a great hiring guide, meaning if you want to find the professional remodeling contractor, I show you exactly how to do it. I also give you my water heater checklist. That's kind of a simple one, but many people, I mean, everybody loves hot water, right? I mean, who doesn't? And if you're going to get a new water heater, you really want to use this checklist. So I think that everybody's going to end up using it. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, whatever. You also get my kitchen checklist. All right. Kitchen checklist. Same thing. If you're going to remodel your kitchen, you want to use this checklist. It's that simple. You get my chimney crown specifications. I would say that only 1 in 10,000 chimney crowns here in the United States are done correctly. And then you wonder why the chimney falls apart. So what would it cost to get the chimney rebuilt? It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So this one product that you're going to get is going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Actually, all of them together will save you over $10,000. And then finally, this is a really good one. You get my roof replacement checklist, or if you're getting a new roof on a new home. And it's a really simple 3-page PDF document. It's really flipping amazing. You get all of that for free. All of it. But it gets better. Once you get the document that has all of these free things in it, in that document, it's a simple PDF file that you're going to download. I've got the link way at the top here. If you haven't seen it in the chat, I'll put it back in the chat in just a second. But anyway, once you sign up to get this free document, you see all of my checklists, all of my eBooks, all of my digital products. I decided to try to help you and hundreds of thousands of others, maybe millions of others, if we can get the word out together, to save billions of dollars. All right. You can get all of my digital products for about a 98% discount. That's insane. That's crazy. All right. So how do you do it? So I'm going to give you the link again in the chat. Then I'm going to start looking down in the chat to see what's going on. And then I want to answer your questions about all of these products, all these giveaway things. So if you've got questions right now about any of the things that I talked about, now's the time to start typing your question in. And I'll start going through the chat in the meantime. No, Steve, we are not talking about politics. Sorry, not today. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm almost caught up. Wow. Facts. Yes. Hi, everyone. Hello, Way 2. Happy New Year to you, too. I had a great holiday. Awesome. All right. Yeah, they are going to help you save money. They are going to help you save money. So all you have to do to get all of that stuff for free is go to the link that's in the chat. Once you're at that page, you just got to put your name in, put in your email address, make sure it's right. If your email address is not right, you're not going to get the stuff, because I'm going to send, what happens as soon as you hit that sign up, you then have to go back to your email. You have to click a confirmation link, and then all of a sudden you're going to see the link to get all this free stuff. So if you put in the wrong email address, you're not going to get the stuff. What's the value of this free stuff? Just, if you went to my shopping cart right now and you purchased it, it's over $110 worth of stuff. So I announced this yesterday on my newsletter list, and it goes out every Sunday morning. And the response was huge. It was huge. And a lot of people are taking advantage of getting the entire digital library, and they should, because I'm going to retract that offer. That offer is going to go away in its current form. You'll still be able to buy the digital library, but if you think you're going to be able to buy it in the future for a 98% discount, you're dreaming. So when you see the list of the stuff, and like I said, when you go to that link and you put your name and email address in, click submit, and then go or sign up, and then you go to your email and click the confirmation link, when you see the list of stuff, you are not going to believe it. You're simply not going to believe it. I like I said, I've done over the years, I've done a really, really bad job of letting everyone know all this stuff that I have. If you're building a new home, you should see all of the products I have for building a new home. For example, and this actually goes through, this is true. I mean, if you're building a room addition, if you're doing anything that requires blueprints, and I'm not talking just a simple sketch on the back of a napkin, I have to tell you that most of the blueprints that I look at, that most homeowners use with a builder to build a new home, I mean an entire new home, there may be 7 pages long. All right, and most homeowners look at it and think they look amazing, they look fantastic. That's horrible. In my digital library, I made a deal with an architect that I used to work with years ago. I used to do a lot of his work 35 years ago, and he drew some really amazing plans. He was a really good architect. And I bid this one job. It was a house. It was a pretty nice house. And I think it was a total of 27 pages. And you might say, what in the world would you need to show on 27 pages? Well, you'd be surprised. You need to show different sections and what a section is on a house. Imagine taking a giant knife and cutting a house in half, much like you'd cut a birthday cake or a loaf of bread, and then you spread it apart. That allows you to see the structure of the house, so you can see all of the beams and floor joists, and it's a really important thing. Well, here's one of the other things that this architect drew, and it's really important for builders to know this, is like in kitchens and in bathrooms, maybe in family rooms where there are built-in bookcases, he would draw what's called an interior elevation. And what an interior elevation is, it's just as if you took a photograph of the wall that you're looking at after the builder walked out and put everything in. So if it was a bathroom, you would see the toilet exactly where it's going to be. You would exactly see where the toilet paper holder is. I mean, and that's a good point. How many times, think about this. This is why this is important. How many times have you gone to a friend's home, or it could be in your own home? You didn't build your own home. You just inherit this house. It's a used home. And you go to a friend's house, and you go to the restroom, and you have to use the toilet paper, and you start hunting for the toilet paper holder, or it's in this weird position way behind you, and you're all contorted trying to get toilet paper, and you wonder, what idiot put the toilet paper holder way back there? Why didn't they put the toilet paper right here where it's convenient? Okay, well, when you have a good set of plans, the builder or the remodeler does not have to guess, because he opens up the plan and he goes, oh, they want the toilet paper holder right there. And actually, the architect said to put the center line of it 19 and a half inches up off the floor. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that should be on plans. Well, guess what? I have that set of plans in PDF form for you. All right. It's kind of smaller and condensed. It's not important that you're able to read all of the notes because you're not going to be building that exact house. The purpose of those plans is to simply show you how detailed your plans have to be. Let me get caught up on the chat. I see some things have come in. Missing, you say, I bought your bunny. I was pleased to see the shower. Okay, great. All right, so tell me, Missing. Okay, so there you go. That's what I wanted to see. You say, I appreciate the library. I can't do the work myself, but this will really help with the people we need to hire to do. That's exactly right. That is the purpose of many of the products in the library, is to show you the right way something should be done so that you can put that in the contract, and because you have to put that in the contract to make sure it gets done the right way. And it allows you to have a really good conversation with the people that are bidding the job. It's a really, really important thing. So I'm glad. So Will got yours. Oh, well, yeah. And so many orders came in. I apologize. I didn't look at all the names. I just, there was no time. So I don't know who bought what. I don't know. So, but it's going to be big. And what I want to do, my goal is to try to get these free products out to as many people as possible. So, the link that's right here, the link that I put in the chat, you can feel free to share that link on social media, on your YouTube channel, on your Facebook. It doesn't matter. Just tell people they're going to get these. And when you go to that link, you'll actually see the free files you get. It's not a gimmick. It's not a scheme. There's no malware. There's no spyware. I actually had one of my subscribers ask me that question a couple hours ago. He thought, why? Because he felt the offer was too good to be true. He thought there's got to be a hook. I didn't even think of that. I thought, oh, so that's how suspicious people have become. But if you can somehow help me get the word out, and share that link so that we can get the word out to as many as possible. We want to save them that money. It's that simple. I want to get those free, especially the roofing ripoff, especially the linear French drain video. We need to get that out into people's hands. So anyway, if you got questions about the products, just type them in the chat. I'm happy to answer those questions to, in case you wonder exactly what it might be. I probably should have put in the chat a list of all the stuff, but I'll go over it once more. The roofing ripoff book, which is right here, once again, you're not getting a hard copy like this. You're not getting this. I'm not going to mail you a copy of this book. You're getting it in PDF form. Same thing. Really a wonderful book. And here's the best part, what I probably didn't say before. In this book, it shows you something you can put on the top of your roof, this copper strip. It's got to be done the right way so that it'll be the last roof you ever do. All right. So I explained in this book that I was the first person in the world to discover that copper chemically reacts with asphalt and it stops the oxidation of asphalt. I was the first person in the world to figure that out. And what that means to you is that if you get copper washing down over your asphalt roof, then your shingles will not lose the granules and they will not curl up like an older person's hand. You've seen some older people, their hands look like that. They can't straighten out their fingers. All right. So that's what happens when too many asphalt molecules cross-link. And if too many cross-link, then they get real stiff and they just can't uncurl. I've got all that in the book for you. All right. So here we go. Let's see if I can get caught up. Honestly, the thought did occur about the malware. Interesting. That's very interesting. Wow. Okay. Hey, Will or Steve, there's one of those bad people that Steve warned us about. Can you get rid of that, guys? Get rid of that flipping link and block that person if you want to, if you have the ability to block them. You can see that down there. Bingo. Yeah, thank you, Will. Block them too if you can. We don't want those people here. They're not welcome. Not at all. All right, if you got questions, put them in the chat. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Steve, I have to tell you, you warned me about that 4 or 5 weeks ago. You said that was going to happen. And uh, it started about 2 weeks ago. And I think one day you weren't here. And one of them was really clever. What happened is right as I was ending the stream, they were hanging out. And they dropped a link into the chat right at the end. And what happens is after I end the stream, I can hit this other button and everything goes away. And I made a mistake and did that. And so I could not get back to get rid of that comment. And I had to wait till the next day to get rid of it. Once YouTube had curated the video. I know it sounds confusing, but those people are really sneaky, Steve, as you well know. Oh, Josh. Okay, Josh, we'll switch gears for you. How to find the angles of weird walls for quarter round. I guess, let me ask you a question. I assume you're talking about putting quarter round down where the baseboard meets the floor. Can you just type me yes or no so I don't go off on a tangent? I'll wait for your answer. I'm going to pretty much guess it's going to be a yes, because I can't imagine where else in the world you'd be putting quarter round. Yes, bingo. Here's how simple it is. Here's how simple it really is. You can take a short scrap piece of the quarter round, and let's just say you have some odd angle. I know it's really hard for me on the camera. I mean, that's a 90-degree angle. That's easy, 245. But let's say it's some weird, obtuse angle like that. Okay, so you take a piece of the quarter round that's just got a square cut on it, and you put it against the baseboard, and you slide it. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I don't have a third hand. Well, I'll use my nose. All right, so see where my fingers are touching here? So you slide it right to that point, to where the two pieces of baseboard meet. Then on the outside of the quarter round, where it's outside and it's touching the floor where you can see it, you take a very sharp pencil like this, although this is not really sharp, and you draw a little line on the floor. And then you do the same thing, and you draw the line as close to the end of that quarter round as possible, where it's touching the corner. Then you do the same thing on the other side. Put the quarter round on the other side of the angle, do the same thing. And eventually what's going to happen is, this is going to be hard to do again, you're going to have two lines. You're going to have a line here outside of the baseboard, and you're going to have a line here outside of the baseboard, and you may have to extend them to get them to meet. And where those two meet, like say they meet in space here, you'll put a piece of quarter round back in there, and you make a point where that is here and a point up at the end, and that is your miter. That's your miter joint. That's the odd angle. So you don't have to do any math at all. You can just do it with pencils. Trust me, it's going to work perfectly every time. Guarantee you. Come back and report after you do it. I guarantee you it's going to work. I think I even have a column about this on the website. Okay. Steve wants to know, how long is ash felt supposed to last? And is that the thing they heat it up to apply it? Oh, so Steve, I don't know what ash felt is. Maybe you mean asphalt. I think that's probably what you mean, asphalt. Yes, Will says asphalt shingles. Okay, so that's a great question. And I actually cover this in the book. Let's go back in time. We'll go back in time. We'll go back in time to the 1980s. That's when I built my last house for my family. And back at the time, they had introduced architectural shingles a little bit, just around that time. Anyway, for the most part, the shingles that you could buy, they just had a 15-year warranty, Steve. 15 years. But they were made pretty well. And I had these 15-year shingles on the last house I built on my home. They were on for 23 years and they looked really good. I mean, there was hardly any wear, very little granule loss. They probably could have gone another 10, 15 years. I actually took them off the house and put a new roof on because I knew I was getting ready to sell the house, and I put on these much better looking asphalt shingles. They look like slate. They were made by GF. They were called Slate Line. So that from the street, it actually looked like my Victorian home had a slate roof. But what happened is this asphalt shingle companies, they started to blow too much air into the asphalt. Here's what the problem is. When the asphalt, the liquid asphalt, comes from the oil refinery, and it's in tanker cars or in rail tanker cars, it's kind of at what we call room temperature, which would be like 70 degrees, 80 degrees. It's probably like maple syrup, maybe even a little thicker. But you heat it up. If you heat up that raw asphalt to 120 degrees, it's like water. So if you use that raw asphalt to make shingles and you put them up on the house on a summer day, the asphalt would just melt and come dripping down onto the ground. They discovered a long time ago that if they heated up the asphalt in a pressure cooker and they blew air into it, they blew air into this vessel, basically they're oxidizing the asphalt. They're causing that chemical reaction to happen. If they did it just right and they didn't blow too much air in, and when the asphalt cooled back down, now all of a sudden it has a softening temperature of about 180 degrees. So the average roof gets to be about 160, 165. But here's what happens. In the old days, they used to make shingles like that and they lasted for a long time. And I go into much, much greater detail this in the book. You really need to read the book. If you blow a lot of air into the asphalt shingles, you basically are pre-aging them. And imagine this. Imagine you go to the store and you buy, you know how products, I don't have anything around here. You know how it has a use by date. Like you could buy, I don't know, a can of soup, and it says best if used by some date in the future. All right. So the shingles are supposed to have a quote unquote born on date of today, which means, and if they come with a 30-year warranty, it means the manufacturer's telling you, well, we believe in the product so much, we know it's going to last a minimum of 30 years. That's when it all changed, man, in the 1990s. They started blowing all this air. They started using the warranties simply as a marketing tool. And the reason why, and once again, this is all in the book, because they just looked at the statistics and they found out that the average American moves every 8 years. So they just had to make shingles that lasted 8 years or 10 years. That's really what was in play. But they're selling you a warranty that says 30 years. They weren't worried about that. They knew you'd be gone. You're going to be in some other house. You're not going to use that warranty. Yeah, I know they say they're transferable. When was the last time you went to a real estate closing? When was the last time you went to a real estate closing and the homeowner, you sign the check and then he signs the deed? When was the last time he handed you a folder filled with all of the warranties about the house? How many homeowners do you think do that? 1 in 100? 1 in 1,000? I can think of just a couple of my friends that are that organized that would do that. All right. Guess who else knows that? The asphalt shingle manufacturers. All right. I don't want to beat up on them anymore. All right. I beat up on them enough in the book. You'll read all about it. Remember, you got to go to that link. You got to do everything. Sign up, and you're going to get all the stuff. Simple as that. All right. What other questions do you have? What else can I tell you about? This is really an amazing offer. If you don't take advantage of it, um, I just think you're making a huge mistake. If you were, just to show you how big the discount is, I also, if you decide to get the whole digital library, and both Missing and will tell you this in the chat, I did something insane. If you decide to get the whole digital library, you get to pick whatever you want to pay. I gave you 5 different price points. All right. If you were to go into the shopping cart right now and buy all of those things that were for sale, full retail, you'd spend about $1,500, $1,500. And the most that I let you pay, the most, is $149. And I had a few people that paid that they felt that it was worth that. And so I let you pick whatever you want to pay. Exactly. They say non-transferable for a reason. They're using them as marketing tools. That's what they're doing. They're not using them because they stand behind the product. I'll give you an exact opposite example. At least for now, the American car manufacturers, I cannot speak for the foreign car manufacturers, but I imagine most of them are good. I don't know. But the American car manufacturers, if you were to go out and buy a new Ford truck or a new Chevy truck, or I don't care what you buy a Honda CVS, I don't care. Well, that's not American made. Anyway, buy an American made truck, and their warranty, it says it's this many years or this many miles on the powertrain, like 100,000 miles, whatever it might be. I'm telling you, they know that many of the people are going to keep those trucks, and those warranties are absolutely transferable. So if you were to buy a used truck that still had like 60,000 miles left on the powertrain warranty, or 10,000 or whatever, even though you're not the original owner and it breaks down and you take it to a Ford dealer, they fix it. No problem. No questions asked. All right. So that's an example of products where the warranty is good, where the warranty really means something and the manufacturer stands behind it. Missing, you're welcome. That's why you're a great example of why I did what I did, because I know there are many, many people. I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. This happened yesterday. So one of my subscribers, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's on a really tight fixed budget. And she said she emailed me, and I could tell in her writing that she was embarrassed, and she basically wanted to know how long the offer would happen so she could start to save the money for it. And we weren't, even the lowest price, we're not talking much money. So Missing and Will, how like you have to be wondering, like, are you serious? And I her email, it bothered me so much that I thought, this is crazy. So I just gave it to her for free. Gave her the whole digital library. It's the least I could do. Then she emails me back. She said that it's not what I had in mind. I just wanted to know how much I had to pay so I could save the money for it. And then she says, well, I'll put that money towards one of your phone calls because I need your advice on something. And so I emailed her back right away. I said, the phone call's for free too. So I know that there are people out there who are really suffering, and God's been really good to me. So offering this stuff up and trying to give you this stuff, I have to offer something. I have to get people to pay something for the products. You just can't give it away completely all for free to everybody. But to give a huge, massive discount, I just felt, I don't care. It's the least I can do, because then you can take that money and use it on your project. It's that simple. So um, I know that there are people out there who are really hurting. And here's what bothers me the most. It's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad. It's going to be horrible. And I don't mean to be a doomsdayer, but I'm telling you, it's going to get bad. So you better be ready for it, and you better discover how to do things. So anyway, one of the things I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to wait for some of this dust to settle. And I had a vision. I'm pretty religious, and I had a vision on Saturday, on New Year's Day. And it was this really odd vision. It was crazy. It was, I want to retire in the worst way. I really do. But the vision was like, no, I'm not done with you yet. You're not retiring. And what it is I need to get out of my head all of the information that I know that can help you. And that's what the vision was. So in a couple of weeks, and we're going to spend a live stream on it. I'm going to create a form that you can go to on my website. And the whole point is for me to create new checklists that I have not done yet. And new, maybe really simple how-to guides. You know, I asked this question once a few years ago, and somebody, and I made it really clear that, you know, let's talk about doing some really simple things. And people would come back with, well, tell me how to remodel a kitchen. I mean, there's entire books written about that. I'm talking about creating like a 2 or 3 page PDF file. All right. So in the meantime, what I'm saying is I want you to start thinking about that. Start thinking about what simple thing could I maybe do for you that would help you do a project, a pretty simple project, not something super complex, so that you don't have to pay $200 or $300 or $400 to have a contractor do it. All right. So start thinking about that, because we're going to talk about that later on in the month of January. Let me get caught up on the chat. All right, William, glad you're back. William wants to know bad in what ways. Okay, I'll explain that. LV says, I just read you post on another platform that is out of work, looking for work and have disabilities. Exactly. Yeah, I'm still taking questions, Will, sure. All right, so we'll answer yours, Will, really quick about Teflon tape. Some people love Teflon tape. I'm not a big fan of it, because for a host of reasons. All right, I just don't. I think people like using it because it's easy. But if you don't know exactly how to put it on, then it doesn't work really well, and you'll get a leak. I like to use what old plumbers use. I use pipe thread compound, which is, I use Rector Seal. That's what it's called. Rector Seal is a brand. It's really good. And it's, what's the consistency like? The consistency is like, it's not as thick as peanut butter, because then you'd never be able to put it on. I'm trying to think. Maybe like a softened margarine would be about the best way to describe it. But there's like a brush in the can. It's kind of goopy, and you goop some on. And remember, you only put it on the male threads. You never, ever, ever put pipe thread compound on the female threads. Never, ever. And and you always have to make sure before you put either, if you're going to go Teflon tape, fine, go ahead, do it. You always have to put it on clockwise, remember. You got to take a wire brush, and you got to make sure that the threads on the male pipe thread are clean. Same thing with the pipe thread compound. But you don't need a lot of this pipe thread compound to get a leak-free joint. And it's never failed. I've done tens of thousands of joints with this, never failed. I'm a master plumber. I've put Teflon tape on. I've had failures. So it's like I go, I'm done with Teflon tape. I'm not using it. I'm not using it. You do whatever you want, but I'm not using it. All right, let's go to Williams. Bad in what ways? Okay, William, here's what's in play. There was a story I just saw. It was either this morning I saw the headline. I think it was this morning. So go online and look what's happening in Turkey right now. The country Turkey, over in the Middle East. Look at what their inflation rate is. Go read stories about what happened years ago in Argentina. Go look at what happened in Venezuela in the past 10 years with their inflation. All right? Here's what happens. I've talked about this in other past streams. So inflation is this miserable, invisible. It's invisible. It's an invisible tax on your money. So if you have money in a checking account or a savings account, or you have it in your mattress, or you have cash in a shoebox in your home, and if the inflation is running at 10% a year, that means at the end of the year, the money that is in the shoebox is worth 10% less. All right. Well, over in Turkey, I think right now their inflation rate's running at 39%. 39%. All right. So you may think, well, Tim, that can't happen here. Oh, yeah, it can. When a government, and this is not a political statement, I don't care who would be in charge of the government. When a government like the United States government, here's what you need to differentiate. If you live here in the United States, Williams, if you live in, if whatever state you live in, like I live in New Hampshire, by law, we have to balance our budget. That's the way it is in all the states. It's almost like, on a personal level, you don't have to balance your budget. You can run up debt on credit cards, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. The federal government here in America does not have to balance the budget. And so they print, lately they've been printing trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars a year to try to cover what they got their expenses are. All right. And now we have a government in place. Once again, this is not politics. I'm just stating facts. We have a government over the past year that is trying to spend another 10 or 15 trillion dollars to put it onto our national debt, spend money we don't have. That is what causes inflation, because by it's just like, I'm going to ask you a question. How valuable is sand? If you got a bucket of sand from a neighbor, what would you pay him for it? Would you even pay him a nickel? Because you would go, well, sand's not valuable at all. I can get it. There's so much of it around. That's what happens when you start putting too much money into circulation. You devalue all the money that's out there, and that's inflation. It's that simple. You can read all about it. It's crazy. It's going to get really bad. It's going to get really bad. So if you are in a situation, if it's late in life and you can't make money anymore, like a lot of my subscribers and maybe a lot of people who are watching this live stream, you are going to suffer. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. All right, let's get caught up. I mean, you can tell that it's a real sore spot with me. It really is. Because the reason why is because these politicians, they don't care about you. And I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, when they sign onto these bills and they vote for bills like this, it's telling you they don't care about you. It's crazy. All right. Let's see. If you are still talking about, Teflon tapes. All right. So we already did that. Thanks, Marlon. Okay, Tim, think about small project. Yes, exactly. I need you to start thinking about them. We're going to do a whole live stream, and I'm going to have a form on my website where you can go and enter in your ideas. Inflation is designed to help keep the rich rich and the poor poor. I don't know, Steve. I think we could probably We could have a good spirited debate about that. Inflation hurts the rich people too. It's just that they've got so much money that it doesn't matter. See, that's the difference. In other words, it's really an interesting exercise one day. In other words, if you want to have some fun, as long as if you have a pretty regular lifestyle and you're not extravagant and you don't want to go out and spend $1 million a day, but just imagine if you could go, well, I like the way I live. I don't need to buy a lot of stuff. So imagine if all of a sudden you had $5 million, let's just say. So right now, if you had $5 million after tax in America, you could invest that. You could pretty easily do 10% on that. So you'd have $500,000 a year. That's $10,000 a week. All right. So you'd go, gosh, I'm able to get by on $1,000 a week now. Okay. So that's the rich people syndrome. In other words, many of them have so much money that they make so much money each. Imagine this. I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to tell you who he is. I'm not going to tell you what business he's in. He's a young guy. He's probably now, I don't know, in his late 30s. Every morning, well, first of all, you need to know that even 14 years ago, he had what we call our drop dead money. That's what entrepreneurs call, meaning I don't need to work anymore. I have enough money to last me the rest of my life. All right. So that's what I call drop dead money. So when he was in his late 20s, he already had enough drop dead money. All right. Every day when he comes down to his breakfast table, on his table, this is a metaphor. I mean, this is a metaphor, but it's actually in his bank account. There's $60,000 on his breakfast table every morning. Think about that. Think if you came down to breakfast every morning and right there where you sit to eat breakfast is a stack of money, $60,000. Some rich people have much, much more than that each day. All right. So that's why the inflation doesn't hurt them, Steve. They don't care. So, but it absolutely makes the poor people poor. I'll agree with that 100%. All right. Yes, please check the like. Thank you very much, Will, for that. Please type the name of that compound in the chat. You bet. I'll do it right now. Vector seal. I think it's Vector seal number 5 is what I use. They make there's different like models of it. So when you look up Vector seal on Amazon, read the description of what it's for. Like one might be for able to be used across anything. Some might be just for water lines. Some might just be for gas lines. So just read the description before you use it, before you buy it. Yeah, 39% inflation. I'm telling you, that story, I swear I saw it today. Yeah. I agree with you, Obi. We need, that's what happened. Just so you know, Steve, and let me go back up in the chat so I pronounce it right. I'm Domin. I apologize. I'm not pronouncing this right. Dormices, maybe. I apologize. I'm tearing up your name. I'm sorry. Anyway, Steve will appreciate this. And anybody who lives in the UK still, that's what happened in 1776 here in America. We said, the people here, our founding fathers said, that's it. We're done with that form of government. We're done. We're done with King George. We're done with you, man. We're out of here. And so that's the end game. That's the end game. And it happens. It's it. Read the history books. None of this is new. There's revolutions all the time. All right. That's what it was called. The American Revolution. Steve, I'm not trying to beat up on you, man. I think you understand. I mean, and then eventually, it's really interesting. I should study your history. Obviously, at some point between 1776 and now, you did the same thing because the monarchy, they're done. They don't really have any power anymore. Queen, what can I mean? Queen, she's got just moderate powers, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you switched over to a system where you vote. Your parliament and whatever. So your prime minister. So anyway, so you got the idea too. All right. Anyway, we don't want to do anyway. Interesting. All right, I'll be doggone. All right, good. Yeah. So anyway, you want to take advantage. You want to make sure you go sign up and get all those links that I have in there. Yeah, get those free products that I'm talking about. So here you go. Missing says, I know my 30-something kids have no idea what inflation means. Yeah, 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 exactly. It's funny that you say that your parents were worried. So my father, if you remember, I mean, I remember it. I was in my 20s because I was born in 1952. So I was like 20, I don't know, I was maybe 24 years old, 25 when that happened. I was in Ohio and they rationed the gasoline in as much as they you were only like the odd numbers or the even numbers on your license plate. There was either the beginning number, I forget what it was, but it was all on your license plate. It was like odd, even. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, whatever it was, only these numbers could go get gas. And if you tried to get gas on those days, all the other people would shame you, man. They would be yelling at you if you tried to get. I mean, if you didn't have the right license plate, oh, it was horrible. Anyway, so we were just one step away from my father-in-law at the time told me about what happened in World War II, where they really rationed gasoline because they needed it for the war. And they had these coupon books. You were limited. You could only buy, I mean, back in the 1970s, I could buy as much gasoline as I wanted each day. Like I could go fill my car up, go home, siphon it out, go back, get more. But back in the World War II, man, unless you bought other coupons from other people on the black market. But I'm just saying it was true gas rationing. And there's no need, we need to do that here. We have so much oil in the ground here in America. It's unbelievable. We have enough oil probably in America to last 200 years. It's crazy. Queen has moderate power. Thank you. All right. All right. Yeah, I didn't know what, that's how snobbish, obviously, I am, that I don't, of course, you can only know so much, but I don't know what the monarchy can do in England. I don't know. But obviously they must have some power over all the colonies still. Because, I've got it here in my drawer somewhere. I've got money from Jamaica or, I mean, heck, her picture, Queen Elizabeth, is still on the money in Canada. So she's got something to do with a lot of places, good for her. All right. Anyway, what was it I wanted to say? The Queen. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She does. And the Rothschilds. Come on. Let's tell it like it is. Oh, all right. Okay. I have to tell you something really quickly. So last week, I don't know, maybe Thursday, Kathy, that's my wife. We've been married 47 years. Isn't that crazy? 47 years. Wow. How can she put up with me? Oh, she's got the patience of Job. Anyway, last Thursday, I think it was, she goes to me. We're down in the kitchen in the afternoon, and she goes, "Hey, how are your live streams going?" And I went, "Well, I've taken the week off." And she goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I took the week off, and I told her why. And I said, I also had taken off, the day before Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve. And then I told her, I said, the funny thing is, I said, I really miss talking and chatting with my viewers, and I rattled off your name because we've become friends, and even though I can't see you and you get to see me, that's okay. Maybe one day I will get to see you, you know. Anyway, but I started to wax a little sentimental. Like I thought, gosh, I can't wait for Monday. I can't wait to be back, you know. And so here we are, you know, and an hour has gone by that fast. I mean, an hour just gone. Um, no, Kathy's birthday is in April. So, um, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it wasn't so much, well, yeah, it was rationed. Gasoline was rationed in the 70s. Um, but you could get as much as you wanted. It was hard. I mean, you know, you'd have to go home and siphon your gasoline tank out. Pretty dangerous to do that. Anyway, so if you have any other questions, let me know. Happy to answer any other questions. And just make sure you go sign up for get all those free files. You're making a mistake if you don't get them. Seriously, you're making a huge mistake. And because that other offer, the entire digital library, that offer is going to go away. I mean, I don't know when it's going to go away, but it's going to go away. And I'll warn people ahead of time, but you should really get it. What do you mean? I did answer your question on Teflon tape. Let's see. Let me go back up. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right. You say, is Teflon tape for water pipes the same for gas pipes, or is it thicker for gas? So there is a difference in Teflon tape for water and gas lines here in America. I cannot tell you chemically what it is, but I think what it is that they altered the chemistry of the Teflon tape for the gas lines, because if there was a gas leak, they found that there was something in the gas that could erode the Teflon, I believe. It's been a while. I've not stayed up with that. I don't care to, but the fact is, you have to use a different Teflon for water lines and for gas lines. So, but not me. I don't use that crap. I'm not using Teflon tape. Just, you know, I'm kind of when it comes to building products, just so you know, I'm kind of a one bite off the apple guy. I mean, so you get one bite off the apple. So if I try your product and it fails, and not because I did something wrong, I'm done with you. I'm done, because I can't have failure. And especially when I was still building. That is why, just so you know, for many builders, remodelers, they are very resistant to trying new products, because if the product fails, you know, they're the ones who are on the hook. They have to go back and redo the job. So I found that out early in my career, and I thought, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll wait until, I'll just wait until I see if it's any good or not. And if a customer, I was smart enough. If a customer insisted that I use a new product, I put it in the contract. I made them sign it. I said, I'm not standing behind the product at all. If the product fails, you have to take care of fixing it, not me. You know, unless you can prove that I put it on wrong. You know, but of course it was so simple. Just get the instructions, read them, follow the instructions, do it right. And if in critical installations, I would actually work the job so that the homeowner was there, and I would make them witness, you know, certain steps that I had done certain parts right, so they couldn't come back. Boy, it would be so nice to go back in time and have one of these bad boys. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. To be able to take unlimited photographs and unlimited video. I mean, this is like this to a builder or remodeler. This is, or any subcontractor, this is as important as a hammer. I mean, they should be taking all kinds of photos and videos of what they're doing to prove that it got done right. You know, so they could prove it and say, no, I put it in right. But when I'm not tearing that wall apart, here's the proof that I did it right. You get somebody else to tear the wall apart. Isn't that crazy? Let's get caught up on the chat. It's true. Yeah, I think she loves me. She does. She's a great woman. Yeah, I just can't believe the Queen, man. The Queen of England. She's wanting to hang on. Wow, she's been Queen for a long time. Um, oh, okay. So when do the Christmas lights come down? My wife and I talked about that today. For us, we take them down on the true Epiphany. It's to us, it's a religious holiday, so that's January 6th for us. So our Christmas lights are on right now. They'll stay lit until the 6th of January. Well, the morning of the 7th. Uh, all right. Yeah, 47 years. Crazy, isn't that crazy? All right. Look, there you go. You got it. You got it. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Steve. Look at those bad people. Steve, you were so right, man. What is the deal with those links? I guess they must be really bad malware if people type that in or click it or whatever. Uh, shortage of stonemasons. That's a pretty good one. Anyway, that's great. All right. Any other questions? Last call for questions. Last call. Happy to answer them. If you did something really interesting yourself, we'll kind of go a little soft here over the break. I'd love to hear about it. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year? It was really a quiet New Year here at my house. In years past, many of the homeowners, I don't know if they came up for the weekend or what they would do. We would have a lot of fireworks. I mean, a lot of fireworks. I mean, crazy amount of fireworks. This year, only one house, and the fireworks not that big, and they did it around 9 o'clock. They lasted for 15 minutes. It was over. Then it was just quiet the rest up until midnight. Crazy, crazy. I thought I just wondered what was going on about that. Um, oh, that's right. I forgot to turn the lights on behind me. I know, and they fell down. So I know. But all the Christmas lights downstairs are all on. So anyway, anyway, I hope you had a great Christmas too. We had a good one. I told you, I think right before Christmas on the last few streams, the week before, when I was not on that Thursday and Friday, we had gone up to see my oldest daughter in Bar Harbor, Maine. That was a great time seeing her and her husband and my granddaughter. My granddaughter's at that magical age. She's going to be 3 years old in February in just a month. And I forgot what it's like when kids are that age where, I mean, they can talk really well and they're so observant that I was talking with my son-in-law and my granddaughter she was nearby, but she was like talking to somebody else. And all of a sudden her head turned. I kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye. She didn't say anything. And she was just kind of listening for a little bit. And then she said out loud, "What are you talking about?" I mean, how crazy is that? Not that she was nosy. It's just that at that young age, she's already figured out to be aware of, I call it situational awareness, which is a good thing. You need to be aware of what's going on in your situation all the time. All right. 60 years. Wow. Elizabeth, you got to go, man. I mean, you got to go. So I guess if Elizabeth were to die, so tomorrow Prince Charles, her son, becomes king. Isn't that right? And then after him, Princess Diana's first son, I think. Is that the order of what's happening or what's in play? And Prince Charles, he's no spring chicken. My gosh. I don't know how old he is. I would like a 15-minute conference with Tim. How do I sign up? I have an issue. Okay, LV, it's really simple. Why don't you here? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it right now. I will. I'm right here. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. I'll give you the link right here. All righty. Here's how you set up one of my phone coaching calls. Simple as that. There's the link. Oh, really? They've banned fireworks. That's crazy because of COVID. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Prince Charles. Don't get me started, man. I need to start some other live stream on some other channel. We can talk about all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's how you set it up, LV. Um, Pretty simple. Also, just so you know, what always helps me is if you've got photographs of the situation. For example, the consult I did today with a gentleman he lives in Ohio, but he's got a camp in Pennsylvania, and it was a roofing consult. And he took all these photos, and the photos I was able to get right to the point right away. Didn't have to waste a bunch of time asking a bunch of questions. That's why they say a photo is worth 1,000 words. Yeah, exactly. They do everything. Yeah, she's such a sweetheart, my granddaughter. Of course, what grandfather doesn't say that, right? Oh my gosh. All right. I um yeah, I don't know. I just don't um and then his brother is in big trouble. His brother, big trouble hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he's in big trouble. Um he's trying to squirm out of that one. Anyway. All right. Remember, way up at the top of the chat, you can get this for free and all that other stuff. Just go sign up for it. It's all yours for free. Going to save thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, I am going to get out of here. Yeah, I know I won't. Hey, over here, are you kidding me? There's been so much crazy stuff uncovered in the past few years of people way high up. They haven't even been charged yet. If I did that, I'd be in jail so fast. Oh, be in jail so fast. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here today. It's great to be back. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a whole list of stuff that we can do. I want you to start thinking of those little projects. Good. I'm glad you have photos, LV. I want you to take me up on that if you can. I gave you that link. I'll give it away again. I'm going to give it away one more last time here. On your social media, on your Facebook, on your own YouTube channel, whatever you can do. Whatever you can do to get that link out there. Get that link out there. Let's get and tell people what's in play. Just tell them, hey, Tim Carter, the Ask the Builder guy, is giving away all these free PDF files. They're going to save you a ton of money. And if they go to that link, they can see exactly what they are. It's not some scam. It's no malware. There's no scam involved. Just go there. Get the free files. None of this is hard. Tony Blair. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here today. Yeah, he is in big trouble. Prince Andrew, that's his name. Bad guy, what he was doing. Boy, underage women, that's just not right. All right. So, okay. Thank you so much. Pass the link around, please. Get that link out there. Steve, good night to you, buddy. Thanks for being here today. Will Smith, if one of you guys would stick around, because right as I end this, we might have one of those bad people try to sneak one of those links in. I'd appreciate it. If either you, Steve, you or Will would stick around, I'd appreciate it. I'll do the same. All right, I'm going to go. I'll be here tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Tim Carter. This has been Ask the Builder. Thanks so much.